My name is Christine Lam. I have been an interior designer for the past 20 plus years. I've been in this industry for a long time. And Jean has been a great help to us when we were looking to sell and buy. And we've remained great friends. I think Jean is one of the best. She's like the model real estate agent. That's the best that you can have, really, to have somebody in your corner when you're doing real estate transactions. So with that said, she asked me to give a seminar about remodeling and what people look for and what are the tips and trends. And Anders is somebody who also has input. He's being more in the construction end of things. So I'll let Anders continue with introducing himself as this part of the presentation.
Thank you so much. It's good to have everyone here. It's always nice to come back to Jean's seminar and be able to meet everyone. I hope everybody's staying safe, and we're having a difficult time right now, sort of a pandemic situation, but then it's good to know that we still have a very good turnout, and it's always very gracious to have Jean inviting all of us back. It's always nice to have a real estate agent who's as informative as Joe has been, even in times such as this, being able to give us all these market updates, it's particularly helpful. And also myself, MAAN Global Development is my company. It's a construction company. We do general construction, sort of what they call a dirt to key solution, meaning we can build a house from scratch all the way to handing over a key and everything else in between. And we also specialize in doing entitlement and permitting type work. And, always nice to be part of your seminar and also have a chance to co-host it with Christine again. Thanks for everyone.
Yes, sure. Great. So let's get started. We're gonna be talking about remodeling and the tips and trends and what you can expect and what are, like Jean says, that you can get your return on investment. What are good tips to look forward to as you're thinking about home improvement. So let's get started. So you just purchased a house, and congratulations. In the Bay Area, that's very difficult. And once you have your new home, many people want to, and this is probably the fault of many home improvement shows on TV. Many people want to just tear down the kitchen, remodel the bathroom, do it all before they move in, and that has its advantages. But really, if you can afford to do that, live in the property for a while before deciding on what you want to do. Because as you live in the property, you're going to see how you use it, how the light is, how the conditions are, and it will give you a more sensible and accurate way of how you live in your home, more accurate sense of how you live in your home before you plan the remodel. So, of course, if your bathroom is falling apart or if you're missing major elements, then there are things that you have to do. But if you can, my advice is to live in the property for a while. A second piece of advice is to determine a budget and commit to it. There's something people in the industry call scope creep, which means you decide on the scope of work, and then you say, well, the contractor's here, we might as well do this, we might as well do that. And so pretty soon your scope is, 1/3 more than what it was, and then the budget increase accordingly. So beware of that and figure out what you can afford and commit to it, and don't start, increasing the scope. And also take 10% and use it as a contingency for unexpected conditions, which will always creep up. So, if you have a budget of X, take 10% of that and use it as a safeguard, and that will make sure that you stay on track.
Yeah, so it's a good point that Christine brought up as far as budgeting, as well as what they call scope control. One thing in construction as well as design that is particularly worth noting is that there are a lot of construction doesn't have to be expensive, because everybody seems to think that, oh, remodeling is a very expensive thing. I better save money for 20 years before I get into a construction work for my own home. But it doesn't really have to be that way, so long as you are very clear about what the scope needs to be and actually stick to it and commit to it. It is when you start, venturing outside the original scope that you predetermined to stick with. That's when it becomes more and more expensive. And sometimes what happens is, as you step out of the scope that you predetermined, and you wind up in the situation in an area where you're forced to upgrade certain things because of code compliance, because building code has changed. If you venture out into outside the kitchen and bathroom remodel and start doing other things, other code compliant issues comes into play. So therefore, having a good scope control is particularly important.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Next slide. And so one strategy is, if, let's say, you only have certain amount of budget, in which most everybody do not have the unlimited amount, develop an overall design. You can only do so much at a time because of budget. Develop an overall design for everything that you want to do, and then decide on what your priorities are. Actually, I'm talking about the second bullet point here. Decide on what your priorities are, and then you can do your remodeling in stages. You can divide up the project. So you can do it divide it up due to budget, due to time constraints. But if you have an overall plan, then you could divide to stages. Then you're not going to be undoing things that, let's say, you remodel the bathroom, but in the second phase, you end up wanting to enlarge the master bedroom, and that bathroom that you've remodeled you need to enlarge it and take away the remodeled bathroom. So now you're undoing something and wasted your money there. So, but if you have an overall plan, if you have an overall priority, and then you're able to divide it up, then you minimize where you're redoing things, undoing things, and wasting effort. And go back to the first point of this slide, is that develop a plan for all the areas of the home, starting from the inside. So don't go in and first thing you do is paint all the walls, because the colors it's beautiful and that's the first thing you see, but what's inside, it's even more important. If it turns out that you need to redo the electrical, redo the plumbing because there's leaks and there's old wiring, then all that paint work that you've just done is wasted effort. So go from the inside out, and go from and then divide up your priorities. And those are the two pieces of advice for not wasting effort in your remodeling.
Very well.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. And here's some of the things I've seen in my experience that are very important to homeowners, and what I think are very good returns on investment. Kitchens are about the first thing that everybody wants, an updated, improved, and efficient kitchen. So anything outdated, anything with not enough storage, old appliances, if you upgrade your kitchen, that's a great return on investment, and also on your not only investment for selling, but investment for your enjoyment of your home. Master suite and master bath is also another area that homeowners are very hot on having updated, especially an ensuite bathroom, if there's room or it's possible to upgrade that, add it or upgrade master suite. That is a very it's good return on investment. Adding a bathroom, especially if the home only has one bathroom, having a second bathroom is a pretty good return as well. And like Jean mentioned earlier, the front door and the garage door, upgrading those two items, increasing the curb appeal, plant some flowers along the front. That first impression is paramount. So those will be, these are all items that are very, will give you a very good return on your investment. Next slide. Other items that are also good returns, your basic systems of the house. These are not the pretty items. These are not going to be very visible, but basic systems and energy efficient systems, a good roof, a efficient furnace, a water heater that's not 20 years old, that it's about to fall apart, double pane windows, insulation, electrical system that is up to code and not the knob and tube wiring from 50 years ago, sewer lines that are not going to constantly give you trouble. All of these are unseen, but they are super important to the comfort of your home, to how you enjoy your home, and also if you're looking to sell, these will be great selling points as well.
As far as so on return on investment, one more thing that perhaps we can all also look into is other than having good roof and insulation, which will eventually give you very good return on investment, because it saves you a lot of energy costs, which is also to look into having a solar panel on your roof.
Oh.
A lot of us nowadays are driving electrical cars, and I know that PG&E has a very good program for people who are driving electrical vehicles. And if you're a company that with a solar panel on your roof, after you get your roof done, then that entire system could last you 15, 20 years of savings to come. And not having to put a lot of money on gas could save you hundreds of dollars, along with saving gas as a natural gas, because now that you have a good roof, better insulations, and perhaps double pane windows, and those things all come together will save you a lot of energy costs as a whole. Also, water heater these days, a lot of people like to use instant water heaters. They are particularly energy efficient. Some of them have 96 to 98% efficiency on their on the usage of these on the gas usages, compared to the traditional water heater, tank water heater, which the efficiencies are only in their 60s. So you're going to get great savings on your energy bills moving forward if you use some of these newer water heater systems, as well as furnace as well. Some of the older furnaces, they also have about 60 to 65% efficiency on their energy use, where some of the newer ones, they're all anywhere between 25 to 88%. So those are going to be very good investment to your dollars.
Yes. Bottom line is all these basic systems, they're not the pretty tiles, they're not the pretty paint colors, but they're equally important as you plan your remodel. So on the flip side, we're going to talk about a few things that are not good returns on your investments. And this is maybe more true in the Bay Area, but this is the area that we're all talking about. Adding a swimming pool. These are things that, unless it brings you enjoyment as a homeowner and you plan to be in the home for long term, they're not good selling points. Adding a swimming pool is actually a turnoff for many people, from what I understand. Adding a wine room is, again, more specific to each homeowner's interest, and so it's not as universal of a thing that will give good return. A specialty room or hobby space, like a craft room. For one thing, many of our houses in the Bay Area are tight and small and tight on space, and so adding a hobby space is taking away from some other use of more general use of a room. And also removing features such as covering up a fireplace or converting a bedroom to a walk-in closet. Removing a bedroom actually is a big no-no in real estate, from what I understand. So all these items are more are not general enough and more specific to the homeowner. And it's great if you enjoy it and you plan to be in the home to enjoy it for long term, but these are not things that you want to do as a selling, as a remodeling to sell, or in a short-term selling situation.
Yeah, completely agree. And that goes back to the very first slide that Christine has for everyone, which is to stay in your home for a little while before making the decision as to where you spend your remodeling dollar. You know, swimming pool, you know, wine rooms and other specialty hobby spaces. Those are the type of things that not necessarily for everyone, and only specific to those people who actually enjoy that particular, you know, type of activities. And therefore living in your home for a little while, figuring out exactly what your life is going to be, right? And then budgeting your remodeling dollar and use it towards the area that you are likely to be using most would be extremely important, and then give you a lot more efficiency on your remodeling dollars.
Yeah, that's terrific. Okay. But in the end, this is your home. So I want to emphasize that if you plan to stay in your home, make it what you want, make it the home you want to live in, and add the swimming pool if you're going to use it, add the wine room, add the craft room. It's you need to remodel for you, and don't, if you, especially for if you're planning to stay in your home, don't be so worried about long-term, you know, is it going to resale value? That is not going to be your priority if you stay for the long term.
Yeah, particularly, you know, in a pandemic such as this, you know, having a home theater is extremely important, right? So
that's right. That might turn up to be a more interesting, more something that's more popular now from now on.
I'm sorry, I missed, what did Anders mention?
a home theater system.
Home theater.
Particularly, we're not likely to go back to, movie theaters anytime soon. Right?
Yes, that's right.
So,
right.
you know, all the Netflixes.
Exactly. I've actually, I'm not sure if you've heard, but there is one company that's looking into building safe, what do you call it, clean rooms inside of your house. So you can actually have like a glass cage and have it be cleaning out and stuff.
Oh,
not something I would put into every home, but it's
one thing that I've engaged myself into building a number of high-end single-family residents, and one thing that is particularly popular among high-end remodeling is the HEPA filter, as well as air filtration system.
Like whole house filtration.
It's like a big, yes, exactly. That's right. You know, it's what they call, there's these energy efficiency heat exchange built-in air exchange system that you can build into your house, and it will leverage the existing air ducts that you already built in and pump fresh air into the building, into the single family home, and then they will extract air from the rooftop, filter the air with microfiltration system, so all the pollutants are being filtered out. And then, you know, you don't have to open your windows. You can stay quiet and get fresh air 24/7.
No.
How much does that cost for just a standard, say?
They are actually not expensive. The system in itself, it's only several $100s. Obviously, you know, you usually the decisions of installing these things have to be made upfront, or you know, a company and you can leverage along with your furnace and air duct system to deliver these fresh air. The operational cost very, very low. It's just a big fan. A simple 15 amp circuit would do, and it's very, very efficient. And it even has heat exchange built in, so that the air that you already that you pay for warming up inside your home will stay warm even when the fresh air comes in. So they're very good systems, and they're actually very, very popular these days, especially in high traffic area like in San Francisco, for example. If you live close to the freeway, you know, you really cannot open your window. These systems are particularly popular.
Oh, that's very interesting. Interesting that you're saying it does not cost that much. That's even more interesting. So let's move on to the trends for remodeling and design. what's popular now. And the number one thing I would say is the color navy blue. You're seeing that everywhere, not just in kitchens, but in furniture, in wall paint colors, in outdoor, indoor colors. So we have a navy blue kitchen cabinet, just in the lower part, or both lower and upper are very popular. On walls, blue and white being such a classic color combo. Many people are painting, and many people are, being cautious with the color, because navy blue is such a strong color that they're a lot of times using it as an accent. So you only paint one wall, and the other three walls are lighter or white to balance it out. And that's a very popular way to do it. Sorry?
Use it as a feature wall, right?
A feature wall, yes. Also an accent wall, yes. Here it's paired with wainscoting on the bottom. On the left-hand side, you can see, so that again, the wall color is popular, but not as strong as if the entire hallway was painted that color. And then on the right-hand slide, paint is paired with a creamy ivory color with white columns, which is so classic and really pretty color combo. So many ways to use navy blue. Another popular color right now is gray. And I'm sure people are actually beginning to get tired of it, because everything we see is gray, different shades of gray. Gray walls, gray carpeting, gray wood. You can see on the right-hand side, the dining table and chairs, it's not brown wood anymore. It's gray, kind of what they call, what's the term? Kind of gray washed wood. Gray kitchen cabinets, also popular. Just want to mention one more thing, a warm gray on the walls. That actually, as you see in this kitchen, the cabinets are dark gray, but the wall around the window is a warm light gray. And that kind of combination, again, tones down the dark color, but brings in the gray. And that's very popular. Also popular is black plumbing hardware and fixtures. So you'll see these all white kitchens with black accents in the plumbing, in the faucets, in the handles, and in the shower. On the right-hand slide, you can see the shower door also features a black metal frame. Here's another slide showing the black accents, black lighting fixtures, and then you can see the window frame has been painted black to kind of balance it, to add another shot of black to that side of the room. Another popular trend is the satin brass plumbing fixture. So this kind of a muted brass, not the bright brass of the 80s, which everybody's in a hurry to get rid of, but this muted, warm satin brass. You can see it in the shower on the right, and also the sink on the left. Also very on trend right now. Here's another slide showing some of the fixtures and light fixtures on the above the kitchen sink on the left, and the faucets on both the left and the right have this kind of not the bright brass, but the satin brass, which is a softer, muted, it's not highly polished. Another popular item right now is countertops that are quartz. Quartz is a man-made material, and it is made of, I think, over 80% or 90% crushed stone, and then blended together with resin, and the resin holds it together and creates these large countertops. And they are their advantage is that they are virtually indestructible. So you don't have to worry about wine spilling on them, staining, chipping. So quartz is very, very user-friendly, and they are making them now in with patterns that mimic natural stone. So there are some that are very real looking, that look like real stone, but without the maintenance value. So quartz countertops, very popular right now. And you can see some pictures of, this is an all white quartz and on the countertop, and look at the backsplash behind the range. That at first glance may look like real stone, look like a marble, and it would be highly maintenance intensive to have to clean that and prevent staining, splashing. And from this picture, I can't really tell, but it's quite possible that this backsplash is a slab of quartz with marble veining, because they make them quite realistic looking now, so that this could very well be a quartz, a marble veined quartz on the backsplash. You know, on a picture, I can't really tell, but it's possible. And that would be like maintenance free.
A lot. Yeah, a lot of them are very, you know, I mean, you cannot possibly tell between the two of them, between the natural stone and the man-made quartz that has natural stone looking pattern. A lot of them are just, you know, you just couldn't tell the difference between the two.
Yes. If it was real marble, I would be very hesitant to use that in the kitchen like this on the backsplash or even on the countertop, as real marble needs to be sealed, needs to be maintained. You need to be aware of red wine spills, acid spills. It would, you know, just be, you know, some people enjoy the look and they were willing to take the care, but for most families, that's just a lot of maintenance to deal with. Here are some more quartz countertops. Many of them are plain or with small patterns. This one, you can see the perimeter countertop is a light gray color, and the center is a different creamy white color. And again, you can see the gray and the navy blue and the white. That's all, you know, all the on-trend colors right now. Marble countertops, I was just talking about that. Also very popular right now. The veining pattern of marble is just beautiful, and it's no two pieces are alike because they are natural, coming from the mountains and literally cutting out, you know, pieces of mountain from pieces of rock, and the veining is from the natural formation of the stone. So they're beautiful and they're dramatic, but there is the maintenance issue. Like I said, it stains, it etches, you have to seal it. So it's a trade-off between how much you're willing to do the maintenance and care and how much you enjoy the lovely, beautiful, dramatic look of the marble in kitchen.
Now, just to top it off a little bit, marble, like Christine said, it is beautiful. They have the veins are dramatic. When you install them appropriately, it makes all the difference in the world in terms of whether it is using it in the kitchen, on the bathroom, use it on the wall, use it on the floor. It does have the inherent issue with regards to staining, and they are soft in nature. That's why, you know, being on the kitchen countertop, even island, simply because you could putting things on it on a daily basis. You put your plates, your pasta bowl. I mean, these things will do quite a bit of damage to the soft marble surface. Whereas a good choice of using marble would be considered is your master bathroom, for example, where you're not likely to have, you know, staining going on, right? You're not likely to have too much whining and dining going on in a master bath. Just using clean water will you know, naturally be a lot more easier on the stone, and yet you can create this dramatic looking feeling in the master bath using marble, as whether you're using it on the floor or using it on the countertop, or even as a shower surround.
Yes, master bath is a perfect place if you enjoy the look of marble, but want a little less maintenance than the kitchen. Yes, Anders is exactly right. Here's another way you can bring in marble in the backsplash. These small mosaic patterns made of marble in the backsplash in small patterns like that, especially, it hides a lot of the sins of the staining and the etching and so forth, and then that might make it a little more tolerable for many people. And here's another slide showing the marble going waterfall, which means coming down the side of the cabinet, and another dramatic look of, people enjoy using this. Even though there is the maintenance issue, some people still will go for it. Another popular trend is using drawers instead of doors in the kitchen bottom cabinets. So your traditional kitchen cabinets are, you have a stack of drawers, or you have a drawer right underneath the countertop, and then the rest of the kitchen cabinets in the base are doors. The problem with that is that when you open the doors, you have to reach in 24 inches to the back of the cabinet to find things, and it becomes a turnoff for many people, and things get lost in the back. So now the trend is to use drawers all the way through, and you're seeing less and less doors in the bottom cabinets of kitchens. With the drawer, you pull it out and you can see exactly what's in the back. So this is basically an illustration of drawers, and you can see it. Imagine pulling out the drawer, how easy it is to access things in the back. Here's another.
Drawers are particularly popular. Drawers are particularly popular in homes that has seniors in it,
Yes.
simply because of easy accessibility. Like Christine says, right? Imagine you got a bad knee and you got a stack of bowls and plates that is on the lower shelves. After you open the door, you have to kneel down and bend your knees and try to get down there and be able to get to it. So the accessibility becomes a big deal, and that's why some of these kitchen drawers using on the lower cabinets are particularly popular these days in homes that have seniors in it.
Mm-hmm. Right. So another trend that people are embracing now is open shelving instead of a full upper cabinet. There is some controversy to that. Open shelving on the uppers make the whole room look more open, less enclosed, less cluttered, and just more open feeling, which seems to be a popular thing right now. But you can see how beautiful this is. You're displaying your beautiful dishware and your items. But there's the flip side of it is there's a lot of people who argue that it gets dusty, it gets oily, you have to clean your things every so often. It is just a big maintenance issue. So you've got two camps, but it is very popular among the people who like a less built-in look, a more open look. Here's the next popular trend, gas fireplaces. So it's been a while now that California has banned any new construction, banned any wood-burning fireplaces because of environmental reasons. And also in remodeling, if you are making changes to a fireplace, you cannot make them wood-burning anymore. Basically, they are easing out of any wood-burning fireplaces. So gas fireplaces are now the replacement, and they are actually quite easy to use. They look very realistic sometimes, or they can be very trendy. They don't look realistic, but they look trendy, and they're very environmentally friendly. So gas fireplaces are now gaining in popularity, and also because of code that they are no longer allowing wood fireplaces.
Yeah, a little bit about fireplaces is that, like what you see in the picture. These are traditional gas fireplaces. Like Christine says, wood burning fireplaces are no longer allowed in the California building code. Therefore, every single one of them, that if you touch it, then that goes away. If you don't touch it, you can continue to use them. And so, but then with so many spare the air days these days, It's getting more and more difficult to use a wood-burning fireplace these days, and it creates more carbon footprint. But some of the popular features nowadays are using linear fireplaces. Some of them are linear fireplace for the inside, where it's sort of a rectangular shape, and for outdoor, also using an open fireplace. Are some of the very popular features on remodeling ideas.
Yeah. This is a picture of a gas fireplace that's more traditional in shape with the fake gas logs. Some of the fake logs are very realistic looking. And the main appeal of these are that you flip on a switch and you have a fire. And you never have to chop wood or clean out the ashes. You turn off the switch and your fire is done. So that has a lot of appeal.
Ease of use.
Yeah, totally. And before I go, Anders mentioned about the linear fireplace. Those are the ones that are more elongated in shape, and they're very popular for modern homes. And they don't have the realistic log. They have sparkly crystal or pebbles, and they're much longer than the normal fireplace. So those are very trendy for modern homes, modern interiors.